In early 1872, the city of Cleveland, Ohio, witnessed a massacre. But there were no sirens, no soldiers, and no blood in the streets. The carnage happened in quiet, wood-paneled boardrooms over cold ledgers. In barely 6 weeks, 22 of the city's 26 oil refineries were absorbed, folded, or forced to sell. They didn't vanish through bad luck. They were hunted. The man leading the hunt was John D. Rockefeller. At 32, he didn't just want to be the biggest refiner in Cleveland, he wanted to be the only one. Business history would remember this consolidation as the Cleveland Massacre. Rockefeller didn't win because his oil was better. He won because he turned the nation's infrastructure into a weapon against his neighbors. To understand the massacre, you have to understand the mechanism behind it. The South Improvement Company. In late 1871, a secret pact was drafted between major railroads and a select circle of big refiners, meant to end destructive price cutting and reset freight rates. Rockefeller was inside that circle. His real target wasn't the wells, it was the bloodstream of the industry, rail transport. The deal ran through the 3 trunk lines that mattered: Pennsylvania, Erie, and New York Central. In exchange for steady, massive volume, Rockefeller got secret rebates on every shipment. But the darker clause was the drawback. For every barrel a competitor shipped, the railroad kicked part of that competitor's fee back to Rockefeller. He was literally getting paid by his rivals to put them out of business. Every shipment they made helped fund the war chest aimed at their own extinction. It was an invisible cage. By the time they saw the bars, the door was already locked. When news of the pact leaked, independent oilmen exploded. The South Improvement Company's charter was repealed in April 1872, before it conducted a single transaction. But the damage was already done. The fear, the leverage, the timetable. With the railroads rigged, the massacre moved fast, February into late March 1872. Rockefeller's attack was psychological as much as it was financial. He didn't start with a fight. He started with an invitation. A rival refiner would sit across from him while Rockefeller laid out Standard Oil's books, cold numbers, brutal efficiency, then prove he could ship at a fraction of their cost. Then came the ultimatum: sell to me for a fair price, take Standard Oil stock, and live, or fight and be crushed. He wasn't just buying equipment, he was absorbing talent and neutralizing threats. Most saw the writing on the wall and took the deal. Those who refused saw their rail cars delayed, their customers lured away with below-cost oil, and their bank credit quietly cut off. According to Ron Chernow, Rockefeller's biographer and the author of Titan, in one 48-hour blur, Rockefeller absorbed 6 refineries. When the dust settled, Standard Oil dominated Cleveland, then one of America's most important refining hubs, responsible for roughly a quarter of U.S. refining capacity. The Cleveland Massacre was just the prototype. Rockefeller scaled the blueprint nationwide. In 1882, he helped create the Standard Oil Trust, run by 9 trustees, built to bypass state limits and concentrate control under a single, mostly invisible hand. By 1880, Standard Oil controlled roughly 90 to 95% of U.S. refining, and the trust's tentacles reached through production, processing, marketing, and transportation. He's often quoted as saying, "Competition is a sin," and he lived that creed, absolving the market of its sin by eliminating everyone else. Rockefeller didn't just build a company. He engineered a monopoly that helped push America toward modern antitrust law. He proved a rule that still holds: control logistics and you control outcomes. But his legacy leaves a question that won't stay buried. In a world of free markets, is total dominance the ultimate goal or the ultimate crime? Should we admire the strategic genius of the Cleveland Massacre or fear the shadow it still casts over modern tech monopolies? Subscribe to the Strategy Fox as we continue to decode the ledgers of power. Drop a comment below. Is Rockefeller's buy or die blueprint still being used in Silicon Valley today?